And there we have it. There is a maintenance and version update. These ones are so good. You get into a cycle where you kind of develop body dysmorphia. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Sleep. And if you are new here, hi, welcome. I make Pokemon Sleep related videos, and I really appreciate that you decided to click on this video. So it is Wednesday, hump day, the middle of the week, usually my favorite day of the week. And it is November 14. So my Snorlax got a lot of sleep, and we are again accompanied by our friends on the bed. And it seems like I got dozing sleep again. I think I got dozing sleep yesterday as well. But I was able to evolve my Jigglypuff, my Igglybuff into a Jigglypuff. I finally got 50 hours of sleep with it. And now I just need to grind some candies because I do not have enough candies to evolve it into a Wigglytuff. I have the Moonstone, but you need 80 candies for that. Now, I already have a pretty good Gengar. I evolved it all the way to Gengar. And yesterday I leveled it up to level 30 so that I can finally get mushrooms. So, I think the only ingredient I have left to unlock is potatoes. And my Bellsprout isn't really the greatest, and I was hoping that it would be a Bellsprout and not a Weeping Bell, so what shall I do? I'll give it to the no, that's not Caterpie. I'll just give it to the Ghastly. And then I'll save the rest of my Poke Biscuits because there's nothing here that I want, and cookies are not cheap. Also, I don't know if I already mentioned it, but sorry about the light. It's not the best lighting today, but we will manage. So I'll put acid dripping sleep. So we're almost going to rank up, which is always nice. And yeah, so that is my Gengar. I named it after a gem. And I also, there you go, there's the mushrooms. I put in a Pikachu because I need some apples for a new recipe that I want to unlock. That involves apples, mushrooms, and warming gingers. So, after I unlock that recipe, which is, give me a second, the Neroli's Restorative Tea. After I unlock that, I will only have one more dessert recipe to unlock. And sorry my voice is raspy. Give me a second. Okay, I should be good now. That sort of helped, but I feel like the phlegm is just going to reaccumulate. So let's get cooking. Let's make Neroli's Restorative. Oops. I almost clicked auto cook. Alright, so the recipe calls for 15 apples, which we have exactly 15 apples, which is great. 9 tasty mushrooms. And 11... Okay, there you go. 11 warming gingers. Now let's add in a large leek just for fun. And there we have it. This is the first time making it, and we got a whopping 7,000. Which is pretty good. Maybe I'll try to make this the go-to for desserts next. This and the steadfast ginger cookies. So the only recipe I have left to make from the dessert list is the fluffy sweet potatoes, which consist of 5 moo milks and 9 soft potatoes. The Geodude I have is not really that great either. And I don't want to level them. Well, that's odd. I don't want to level them up to level 30 just for the sake of getting it, because I'm kind of tight on resources right now. So there is a maintenance and version update. So let's go through that together. So this is the 1.0.13. And it'll start today and end at 3 a.m. Alright, so points to be updated. Changes to allow players to receive 5 candies of a randomly selected Pokémon capable of evolving with a linking cord when they use a linking cord from the bag. Of a randomly selected Pokémon? Interesting. I wonder what made them decide to do that. But hey, free candies, right? And then there are going to be changes to the research community specs so that when a player receives research data from friends, it is possible to occasionally receive 2 candies instead of 1. The higher your closeness with friends, the higher the chance you'll get 2 candies. Ooh, that's nice. And they're adding new relaxing sounds and alarms, and you can download them from the sleep tracking screen. That is neat. Adding a notice of the sleep research results when the researcher is already at the max research rank, explaining that research EXP is converted into dream shards. So the current highest research rank is 50. We are currently working on the development of events and other opportunities to use dream shards in a new way. Oh, that's interesting. Changes to sleep EXP specs so that if a helper Pokemon has reached max level, any extra sleep EXP earned through sleep research will be added to the sleep EXP bonus gauge. Note that each time the sleep EXP bonus gauge fills up to 500, you will receive 1 handy candy small. Example, if you receive 100 sleep EXP and all 5 of the Pokemon on your team are at max level, then 500 EXP, which is 100 times 5, will be added to the gauge, and you will receive 1 handy candy S. That's neat. Alright, so sleep bonus EXP gauge can be found in the following places. On the Your Sleep Session pop-up that displays after sleep tracking. This only applies if you had max level Pokemon on your team when you finish sleep tracking. From a button on the upper right of the Pokemon screen, this is only viewable by users who have some EXP stored in the bonus gauge. Okay, the current max level of Pokemon is 50. So that's not going to be me anytime soon, but that is great to see that they're thinking long term. Now, changes to some game contents. Changes to show a notification mark on the top of the home screen's shop icon, as well as the shop screen's general store icon, whenever new bundles are added to the shop. That's nice. Adjustments to the weekly rollover so that if Snorlax has already requested the same kind of food a certain number of times in a row, they will be less likely to choose the same one again. Oh my god. That should be exciting for a lot of you, some of you, especially those that are stuck on salads. I'm going to be a little sad because I love desserts, so But you know what? You need variety and the opportunity to level up other dishes. So that's great that they are addressing that. Changes to the sleep style deck so that if a researcher evolves a shiny Pokemon, the evolved Pokemon's shiny version will count as discovered. Oh, that's nice. And fixes specific to Android. On Android devices, the screen brightness within the app reverting to how it was set before sleep tracking, even if the brightness was adjusted after sleep tracking. I feel like I read that weird. Bug fixes. A closeness increased display of +1 appearing on the research community screen for friends who are already max closeness. Not a problem I have been encountering. And some text displaying incorrectly, such as Pokemon's nicknames and number of items helped. Oh, I didn't know that was happening. Interesting updates though. I remember a couple updates ago, there was supposed to be an update where when you cook for Snorlax, a part of your team regains that energy. So did that happen? Am I just like crazy and not notice that it has been restoring my team's energy, or is that still kind of like in the works? You know, it would be cute though, but probably unnecessary. If we could buy like cute decorations, right, to put on the map, and maybe it bumps up even more certain things for our Pokemon gathering and all that. So that would be neat. Furniture, decoration, kind of like Animal Crossing, or maybe even some clothing for our Snorlax, or a blanket because he must be so cold. All right, so let's see what everyone caught today. So no updates in terms of closeness, but let's see who got lucky. It's 11:11, so let's make a wish. And I'm done making my wish. The beautiful shiny Gengar, shiny Absol, shiny Venusaur. I'm so over this fun. But I have yet to see a shiny Ditto, so if any of you guys do have a shiny Ditto, I would love to see it. Now, for those who are enthusiastic about skincare, I have something that I have been using lately, and I want to share this find with you guys. So if you guys use cotton pads either to remove your makeup or to apply facial essence to your skin or toner, you will know that cotton pads are not made the same. Some of them will scratch your face, and if you have sensitive skin, kind of like I do, there are certain cotton pads that just make your face feel so raw after using them. So up until now, I've been using the Shiseido ones because they have been the ones that have just been really good on my skin. Doesn't cause any irritation. It doesn't pill or anything. The only thing though is that I notice when I use it, I go through a lot more product because although the cotton pad is nice and soft, it is pretty plush and it holds on to a lot of the liquid or the product that you're using. Now, I came across this when I was in Japan, and this was so popular. So you'll see the award here, Cosme, and whenever you see this, it's a pretty good product. And it's facial cotton pads. But these ones are so good. I do not know what the half sign over there means, but let me take out a cotton pad and show you guys. So it's hard to see in person, but it kind of reminds me of a Mr. Clean erasing sponge, but it is not that texture at all. It is so soft. And then you break it in half and you could use one and then use this one for another day. But I was super impressed with this product because when you apply it onto your skin, or if you're like me and you like to use waterproof mascara, you need to use like oil-based makeup remover. And when I use that, I need to use only the tiny, like a small amount, half of the amount I used to use of my makeup remover. And once you apply it on the eye, you could just feel the liquids releasing from the cotton pad, like 10 times more than your regular cotton pad. Same thing when I'm using a facial toner. I use a tea tree based facial toner because I have to manage my adult acne. Although the camera is doing a very good job at making my skin look good, I suffered with really bad adult acne when I was younger. And now I'm very cautious about maintaining my skin barrier and making sure that it doesn't freak out. So I use a tea tree facial toner. Now I've noticed I went through it so quickly when I was using my other facial pads, but with these, I have to use half the amount of pumps, and when I'm applying it on my skin is completely moist and evenly covered with the toner. The cotton just releases all the product so beautifully, but it holds onto the product at the same time. I don't know how they do it, but this, guys, if you have the opportunity to get one and you're looking for new cotton pads, get it. And they are cheaper than the Shiseido ones, so I'm so glad I picked this up. And I'm glad that the Asian skincare store in my area also carries it. So also the Asian grocery store, I saw it the other day, which is nice. So it seems like no shinies. The last time I found a shiny was on October 22nd, and the only reason why I remember that date is because that was my fly day back to my country that I live in, Canada. So it has been quite some time since my last shiny. That's a shiny Jigglypuff. At least I think it is. It's like more of a bubblegum pink. I think that's a shiny Jigglypuff. So cute. This one is so cute. It says cheek inflating sleep, but I love how like one hand is behind scratching its bum. And there you have it. That concludes our research community. So let's just chat, you guys. Yesterday night, I had the weirdest dream. I've been having vivid dreams that I kind of remember when I wake up, which is quite unlikely. I usually don't really remember my dreams, but I've just been having weird, wild dreams. Last night, I had a dream that an acquaintance from high school was staying over at my place, and we were never like close or anything. We were cordial, but we weren't like buddy. So yeah, that was kind of weird. I woke up and I was like, whoa, I haven't thought about her in years. So yeah, that was my dream. Also, yesterday I had a really good productive day. Got in a lot of movement for my body. I went to my pole class. saw my favorite instructor, and she was also off for a month. So yeah, I'm slowly getting into it. Luckily, she told me I didn't lose too much of my progress or strength, which is reassuring because I was kind of kicking myself coming back from the first day of class, and I was like, oh, I feel like I don't have it. But yesterday's class, extremely fun. I loved it. I really felt like I was slowly getting back into the groove of things. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to be a bit bold. And bold to me is taking my phone out and recording myself. And I decided to record myself because I wanted to keep progress of my journey and also to critique myself. Kind of in the sense that if you are working out or weightlifting, you want to see what your form looks like so you know exactly how to correct it. So I wanted to do the same for my movements. I wanted to see if I were doing the tricks correctly. Was my arm placement good? My leg placement good? Hip placements? So yeah, quite the insightful video. I saw a lot of things that I need to correct, which makes me even more excited to go to class next week so that I can put those corrections in practice and just get a lot better. But that's my progress for pole. I'm almost done my pole basic 1. So you have like this report card looking sheet with all the skills, and she checks them off if you mastered it, or if you need to improve it, we'll see it again in the next class. So once you're done your pole basic 1, you move on to pole basic 2 before you can go to pole beginner 1. So the basics is just, learning the basics, your spins, your twirls, your hooks, and your walk-arounds, all of that. And after you get the groove of it, it gets really fun once you do the freestyle at the end and you're just pulling up all the different moves that you've learned, learning to move with your body as well. And people look at pole in a very sometimes negative way, the association with strip clubs and like sluttiness and everything, but it is honestly such a beautiful form of expression. I feel like I'm able to express myself in a different way through pole, and I really enjoy it. And pole is not exclusive to women. There are some men that take the classes and they look so good, so elegant, and I'm just thinking like the amount of strength that you have in your body to invert yourself, get yourself upside down, move quickly from one move to another. It's very taxing on the body. Like today, my pecs are on fire, my calves are burning, my core is doing a bit better, but she still hurts as well. So it's just great to challenge your body. So I encourage you guys to pick up something fun and just something that'll keep your body moving. When I started my whole health kick fitness journey, I was pretty hard on myself in the sense that I did minimal cardio because I was afraid to lose weight. So the type of cardio I would do was just walking on the treadmill, or I would do jump rope because around that time I had issues with my back and my spine and my hip. So my chiro told me that jump roping might be good because it really helps balance your skeletal muscles. So I got into that and I got pretty good. And weightlifting I got into because I was really focused on gaining more weight. And I really wanted to build a lot of muscle mass as well. But when you're starting something, you get into the toxic cycle of doing what everyone else is telling you to do. Like for girls especially, it's like you gotta grow your glutes big and strong, but you have to have a tiny ass waist as well, and like huge boobs so that you have like that S shape. So yeah, I was just doing a lot of lower body exercises, which, don't get me wrong, I love, because throughout your life your legs are going to get you everywhere, right? So you really want to have strong hips, especially if you're working a job that requires you to sit. But you want to have strong hips, strong legs, strong calves. But you get into a cycle where you kind of develop body dysmorphia. You're so obsessed with looking on whether or not you've gained any progress in certain regions of your body. And I've gotten to a good place now where I'm enjoying physical activity that makes my body feel good and focusing less on whether or not I'm growing or my body is looking a certain way, and just truly enjoying the process. And the funny thing is, I've noticed that through enjoying the process of movement and enjoying what I'm doing, my body has changed in a way that I'm very happy, content, and comfortable in. Because not only is my body stronger now, but she is pushing me further to physical movements that I didn't think I was able to do before, you guys. And don't get me wrong, weightlifting was fun and all, but it started feeling like a chore. It started out as fun, and then it started out as feeling as a chore because the only goal I had in mind was to look a certain way and to feel stronger. But it wasn't challenging that artistic side. Maybe artistic is not the word, but that side of you that just wants to play, like how when you're dancing you feel like you can express yourself a certain way, or pole dancing, you could do that. Even with yoga, I find that you can express yourself in certain movements, really elongate your lines and your muscles. Sorry about that. Muscles, focus on your breathing. So yeah, I've taken a bit of a break from weight training, although I do want to get back, just because I want to make sure that I maintain some muscle mass and just build up some more muscle as well, and just keep my body healthy and strong, but a balance. So my little spiel on that. Another thing, so I have my heels class today, and I go with my boyfriend's sister. So we go together, and she has been joining us for dinner. So it's been really fun to cook for the three of us, and I am making kimchi army stew today. And it is like the perfect cold weather type of meal to have with the group. And I'm doing something a bit different. Usually I serve it with rice, but sometimes you serve it with you take a packet of ramen noodle and you just throw it in the broth. But I really like Korean sweet potato noodles, I think that's what it's called. So I'm gonna add some in there. And I want to pick up some dessert or cakes for us as well. So if I have some time later today, hopefully I'll be able to do that. But yeah, get some stuff out of the way, finish my tasks, and that is what the rest of my day is going to look like. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to my little ramble. I always wonder what you guys are doing when you guys are watching my videos, because me personally, I like to watch and listen to videos while I am doing other things, so that my mind is engaged in something instead of just listening to silence, which is not bad. But I feel like I listen to silence a lot during my days, and sometimes I just want to listen to something and stimulate my brain a little, or my thoughts. So yeah, love listening to Rotten Mango for her murder mystery crime case type stuff. And for podcasts, I love listening to Call Her Daddy. Very insightful when it comes to the experience of women. There's also men that come on the podcast, which is very interesting to listen to as well. So if you guys are looking for something to listen to while you're doing errands or on your drive or commute, Call Her Daddy is great as well. But yeah, I hope that this video does the same for you as it does for me when I'm watching these type of videos. I hope that you enjoy listening to what I have to say. And thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do something that you enjoy. Have a lot of fun today. Get some sunshine, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and goodbye.